Malaria is a disease of the poor, and in Southeast Asia it's often a disease of the dispossessed or the stateless, migrants, people who don't appear and don't want to appear. There's no one knocking on the doors of intervention to save them. So it differs from most other medical problems, in fact, and it really has a very small public voice. So it's our responsibility in the malaria community, the greater malaria community, to act on behalf of these people, and if necessary to bang on the table and to demand the right things are done.
ตั้งแต่เมื่อเพิ่นไข่หันเพิ่นมาแต่เบิดมาแต่ปลาไปกับหมู่หากจะไปปลาตัวใดว่าไปไหม้ไปตอกนั่นแหละมาแล้วก็มาว่าบ่ได้ขายว่าไข่เด้อไข่จังซั่นแล้วก็หมู่เพิ่นเอาหมู่มานำหมู่ไปนำกันแล้วมานอนอยู่นี้มานอนก็เลยไข่แล้วหมู่เพิ่นเมื่อแล้วก็ถ้าร้อนมันไข่อยู่บ่ว่าซั่นแม่ใหญ่ถามยังไข่แบบเขาจะได้สิมีเงินบ่มีเงินก็เอาเงินนี่คนที่รู้โตหันเรืองมาก็มาแม่มาเห็นหรือว่าขั้นหมูขางัวขาสร้างจะสิกินได้ลูกเรายาจะสิกินไรเจ้าไข่มาสนาบอกเลย
ก็ว่ามื้อนั้นหันคุณพรรษาแล้วว่าแม่เอ้ยว่าเอากับน้องนั่นเฮือนดินหาอ้ายลูกอ้ายมาเมียนะเอาอยู่ได้แม่สิ้นเพิ่นว่าสิ้นละอยากเฮ็ดได้แล้วเพิ่นว่าสิ้นละเอา2,500อีพ่อของบ่ได้กินน้ำดอกว่าซั่นมันน้อยโอ้บ่กินก็ยาลูกเอ้ยกินแล้วก็อยากกินเด้อลาวขอเลยว่าสิแหละ
โอ้มานข้าวนึงมาเว้าให้เอาบักนี้กับปีนี้จักเอานี่มันหายนี่
จอกคันแม่ขาดแล้ว
ให้เอานี่ให้เอาลูกนี่
ไปนั่งเมียไปนอน
เนี่ยก็เอานี่ก็เอามันนี่ข่อยสิเบิ่งดอกลูก
In this region, there's also been some pretty remarkable successes in driving down the overall burden of malaria. However, all that's going to be reversed if we don't do something about addressing the problem of drug resistance.
The first time artemisinin-resistant malaria parasites were identified was in Cambodia and in Thailand. However, in the years to come, and also due to intensified drug resistance monitoring, those parasites were identified in further countries, first Vietnam and Myanmar, and very recently the Lao People's Democratic Republic.
Artemisinin resistance is important because it is a global public health emergency. We have seen resistance to anti-malarial drugs in the past emerge from this region and have spread to Africa and beyond. We potentially could be faced with unnecessary deaths. It's critical that we try to mitigate this problem and essentially move to eliminating artemisinin-resistant Plasmodium falciparum malaria.
A few years ago, ended up putting more resources here into the Mekong region because of the emergence of drug resistance and the need to actually do something about it, not only to benefit the health of people in this region, but also, hopefully, to keep whatever's going on in this region from popping up in other parts of the world, particularly in these high-burden countries in Africa. So there is a link here between what we're doing in Africa and what we're doing here in the Mekong.
In Thailand, we're seeing a reduction of malaria cases, but we're also observing increased numbers of malaria hotspots where you can find artemisinin-resistant malaria on the border areas. So what the President Malaria Initiative is doing is they're supporting the Control and Prevention of Malaria project. This Cap Malaria project, we work closely with the Bureau of Vector-Borne Diseases to do primarily increased access to malaria services, particularly at the provincial, district level, and the village level.
Because of the problem of artemisinin resistance, we are tackling mobile and migrant population or some specific ethnic groups in some countries. The main issue is that these people are moving a lot and it's quite difficult to follow them up. And in order to be sure that they are very compliant with the treatment they was given. So this is an issue. But more and more we are doing action and we are collecting information regarding all this population at risk.
มุ้งก็ซื้อมาเองพอนั่นก็เอาลูกเข้าไปนอนในมุ้งเพราะก็นอนในมุ้งกันหมดนะคะตอนเที่ยงคืนก็ตื่นไปกรีดยางแล้วก็เอาลูกนอนในมุ้งพอป่วยพออะไรก็ไปหาหมอเช็ดตัวไปหาหมอพอไม่หายก็ไปเจาะเลือดที่ศูนย์มาลาเรียนะคะศูนย์มาลาเรียก็อยู่ที่ทับไซลูกโป่งน้ำร้อนเนี่ยค่ะศูนย์มาลาเรียเขาที่รู้ไหมว่า
The location we're in now, in this remote rubber tree plantation, I think represents one of the challenges, one of the greatest challenges we face in eventual elimination of malaria. We must get the right treatments and diagnostics, as well as education, to the point where patients, families need them. And so to do this, we have to find out who these populations are, what their needs are, and really focus on tailoring our interventions for this kind of penetration. By creating the bridges to places that are remote like this, and training village-level community workers to provide malaria services, we're also creating the capacity to address other diseases. By creating the capacity, there's a spillover effect. And eventually our hope is that we will address diseases, not only malaria, but take the perspective of the villager, who after all wants their child taken care of. They want to be well. Even though this is a malaria-specific program, we think there's benefit across the board.
Cap Malaria works closely with all kinds of private providers, company, drug outlet, and we train them to register all suspected of malaria patients come to seek their care, because we want them to provide the appropriately diagnosis by using RDT. This is a rapid diagnostic test, and then though private provider who provide diagnosis should record well and share that record of patient file to the public health facility.
ពួកកម្មករពួកខ្ញុំនេះគឺរៀងរាល់ថ្ងៃគឺយើងតែងផ្ដល់ប្រឹក្សាឲ្យពួកគាត់ចឹងគាត់យល់ដឹង
បាទមកតំបន់នេះយើងជាតំបន់ក្រាលខ្លួនចាញ់យើងពេលហូបបាយគឺពេលជាពិសេសពេលយើងធ្វើការយើងពាក់អាវវែងឲ្យខោក៏ចឹងស្រង់ទៅក្រោមការពារបដាមូខាមកជើងក្រោមប្រជាពលរដ្ឋចល័តជាពលរដ្ឋចំណាក់ស្រុកដោយគាត់ទៅធ្វើចការអីចឹងយើងចែកមុងដើម្បីបង្រៀនពួកគាត់ពីរបៀបចងមុងយ៉ាងម៉េចពេលដែលគាត់ស្នាក់នៅព្រៃហ្នឹងដែលគាត់មកផ្ទះអត់បានហ្នឹងទូកើតទឹកឡើងហ្នឹងទៅគាត់មកអត់បានគាត់ត្រូវការគេងនៅចការគាត់បើគិតថាពីផលប្រយោជន៍ក្រុមហ៊ុនយើងចំណេញថវិកាថាកាលពីមុនយើងមនុស្សតែជាង40នាក់មួយខែយើងអាចប្រើលុយអស់ទៅ2000ទៅ2000ជាងតែឥឡូវនេះរយៈពេល2-3ខែយើងអត់ដែលប្រើលើសេវាហ្នឹងទេនៅតំបន់ខ្ញុំនេះកាលពីដើមខ្ញុំមានតែកម្លាំង41នាក់ទេអញ្ចឹងជួបការលំបាកខ្លាំងដល់ព្រោះតំបន់នេះវាជាតំបន់គ្រុនចាញ់ហើយងាយរងគ្រោះបំផុតអញ្ចឹងពេលខ្លះកម្មករខ្ញុំឈឺព្រឹកឡើងមានមួយថ្ងៃ5នាក់16នាក់អញ្ចឹងពេលខ្លះខ្ញុំដឹកទៅមើលទៅមន្ទីរពេទ្យនៅប្រម៉ោយពេលខ្លះយើងអាចដែលគាត់ឈឺធ្ងន់យើងអាចដឹកដល់មន្ទីរពេទ្យខេត្តអញ្ចឹងក្រោយពេលយើងសហការមានគម្រោងកម្ចីមុងពីអង្គការ UOC ដើម្បីយកមកផ្គត់ផ្គង់ឲ្យកម្មករយើងប្រើទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងឥឡូវយើងកាត់បន្ថយរយៈពេល4ខែហ្នឹងយើងអត់មានសូម្បីតែម្នាក់អញ្ចឹងយើងក៏អរគុណដល់ខាងអង្គការដែរដែលបានមានការសហការល្អ
Krawang district is one of the districts in Posat province. Cap Malaria train private providers, and one of the private providers that I visited recently, they give me a lot of impression that private provider play a key role in that area, because that private provider, they see many patients a day, and of them is many patients is malaria, which is impressed. Recently, in just a past 6 months, they see like almost 1,000 of patients suspected.
បើឈ្មោះអីពុះវ័នមានយល់ដឹងពីខ្លួនចាញ់ខ្លះដែរនោះអត់ដឹងបរោយគេដែលពយល់ណែនាំដេកមុងដេកអីការពារអីអត់ទេណាអត់ដឹងថាខ្លួនរត់មកពេទ្យបរោយបានប្រហែលឆ្នាំទៀតណាស់រៀនមិននិយាយប៉ុន្តែបើសិនជាជនចូលរួមការយល់ដឹងខ្លាំងអំពីរបៀបវិធីសាស្ត្រការពាររបៀបអីហ្នឹងហើយជាអាចដាច់មកបាទដាច់អាចបាត់បានឲ្យតែការយល់ដឹងរបស់គាត់យល់ណាយើងអាចដូចជាតាមភូមិតាមអីយើងអាសាពយល់ដឹងតាមគាត់យល់ដឹងខ្លាំងគាត់អាចធ្វើបានហើយប៉ុន្តែតាមពិតទៅនៅតាមភូមិមានអ្នកស្ម័គ្រចិត្តភូមិគេនៅជួយខាងហ្នឹងបាទមិនអត់ទេបាទស៊ីសងការយល់ដឹងរបស់ប្រជាជនផ្ទាល់ទេចូលរួមចំណែកធំមកបានយើងអាចបើយើងធ្វើតែយើងថ្នាក់លើហ្នឹងគាត់អត់ហ្នឹងនៅតែដដែលហ្នឹងអត់ងាយដាច់ទេមិនដឹងជាថ្ងៃណាបំបត្តិបានទេខ្ញុំគិតរាល់ថ្ងៃហ្នឹងចឹងគិតចឹងបាទ
In Battambang province, Cap Malaria trained taxi driver who bring passengers from town to the countryside where the malaria endemic areas are. While driving, taxi drivers talks and show the video to their passenger about malaria health education and health seeking behavior.
មីងធ្លាប់មើល spot សាប់ផ្សាយហ្នឹងមានឃើញនេះឥឡូវបើក្នុងទូរគេផ្សព្វផ្សាយពីជំងឺគ្រុនចាញ់ហ្នឹងជាមួយរៃគោលមីងមូរៃគោលនេះវាខាំច្រើននៅពេលប្រលប់ទល់ព្រលឹមនៅថ្ងៃពេលមូរៃគោលយីវាមិនសូវចេញទេមីងច្រើនដល់ពេលប្រលប់ហើយនៅពេលយើងចូលទៅព្រៃហ្នឹងមីងព្រោះតំបន់ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងបកាហ្នឹងដើម្បីកុំឲ្យជំងឺគ្រុនចាញ់ឆ្លងយើងត្រូវទប់ស្កាត់មិនកុំឲ្យមូរីកូលខាំយើងត្រូវអង្គុយលេងអង្គុយអីក៏ដោយពេលថ្ងៃពេលយប់ពេលប្រលប់ពេលអីក៏ដោយយើងការពារណាយើងការពារធ្វើកុំឲ្យមូសខាំទៅសំខាន់បំផុតយើងសម្រាប់នៅក្នុងមុងជ្រលក់ថ្នាំពេលយប់
Now we are in Trang Health Center to conduct the village malaria worker that they have participated among 29 people and 7 are men and 22 are women. So the topic that we provide to them is to diagnose and early and appropriate treatment to the malaria risk population who are crossing the Cambodia-Thailand border.
Now we are in Sampalung district where Cap Malaria project have trained 174 VMWs, and those VMW play very important roles to provide health education within the at-risk village and also provide blood tests and treatment to these workers. And when the worker tests with the positive malaria, the VMW also are able to follow up the patient to make sure that the patient complete the treatment course.
Malaria is a serious problem in Myanmar, but over the past several years, I believe the government and the partners, including WHO, international NGOs, and the local NGOs, and of course the National Malaria Control Program of the government, had done a lot in really reducing the burden of malaria in the country.
Cap Malaria Control and Prevention of Malaria in Myanmar. It is a regional initiative. We are working together with Cambodia and Thailand. And our aim is to reduce the malaria morbidity and mortality, and also to prevent the control of drug-resistant malaria, especially in the Greater Mekong sub-region area.
PMI reaches to the target community through the Cap Malaria project. The Cap Malaria project has in fact trained more than 1,000 village volunteers, and we are expecting to scale up the village volunteer network. Volunteers are the representative of the village. They are based in the target villages. They can speak language, the local language, so they can convey the appropriate messages to the community, as well as they can provide the quality diagnosis and the appropriate treatment. They can follow up the patient, whether or not the patient are taking the appropriate treatment, and the volunteer can transfer the patient to the health center if required. So the volunteer are the frontliner. They are the best person to help strengthen the malaria prevention and control effort, and even to the malaria elimination in the country.
We can't change the mosquito. They're the vectors. They transmit malaria, they carry parasites. The last few years ago, we experienced malaria eradication campaigns, but we discovered they didn't work. So by addressing the knowledge gap on this, ensuring that everyone understands the relationship between the vector and the disease, we will make sure in progress to malaria elimination, as people will take more and more responsibility to take action to prevent the disease.
Even we eliminate Plasmodium resistant in Cambodia, but we are not sure that it will sustain if other country cannot eliminate, because now people can move more easily than the past from country in the region, especially in ASEAN. When we move to ASEAN community.
In the past, malaria is a big problem for Thailand, and now it's a decreased rate. And I have a big problem for me, for difficult to eliminate, and have in opposite is a challenge for me to set program and to take activity for eliminate malaria in Thailand. I think it either 2 or 3 years in the future have I achieve for the strategic goal for the tech activity for the eliminate malaria.
In Laos, malaria can be eliminated, especially in the northern part of Laos. But if we want to eliminate of malaria in the northern part of Laos, we need a lot of the cooperation and coordination with the other ministry, could not rely on the Ministry of Health alone. And also really need technical assistance from the WHO, and also the really need with the other donor to support in terms of budget and material.
I think malaria is really a difficult disease to address. We have to sustain the interventions, otherwise the disease will come back with a vengeance. And we have learned a lot from that in several countries, or even in some countries where we have almost reduced it to a very low level.
The spectre of returning to a world with expanding malaria as it was in the 70s, and hundreds of thousands and then millions of people, largely children in Africa, dying from a disease that today is readily treatable, surely that demands an enormous response.
It should be unacceptable that someone at risk for dying from a disease like malaria, and again, the nice thing about malaria, it's easily diagnosable, easily treatable. The bad thing about it is if that's not done fairly quickly, there's a high risk of dying from that. And we can't afford to have people continue to spend a large part of their own income in sometimes showing up in health facilities where there still are no drugs and diagnostics in many countries. We need to do better than that.